I thought he was doing a Kirby thing then.
Yeah. More like a Steranko thing. We're live. Come on in, folks. Come on in. We see you out there. Come on in. Chat's open. We're looking at Manhunter again. It'll be great. This is Comics by Night. Let's run the opening and get right into it. This might take a little while. We've got about 40 pages to cover, and with that Steranko book, we were lucky to cover 12. So here we go.
What was that? This is not a charade. We need total concentration. Now, once again, this time, with the...
For me, that never gets old.
No.
It just doesn't. Folks, we're back looking at the Artisan Walt Simonson collection that focuses on the Manhunter book. We went through, what was it, about 5 or 6 short stories last week?
Yep.
And this week we get to see the penultimate. Manhunter Paul Kirk ran through his origin last week. Not a character well known in DC lore. Started out as a World War II Manhunter creation by Simon and Kirby. Was rebooted by Archie Goodwin and Walt Simonson when Archie took over editorship of Detective Comics for a very short period of time. A lot shorter than what they were planning. How are we looking for light? It's a little not good there, huh? Is that better? Should be better.
Yeah, that's okay.
Still got a shadow right there for some reason. Or is that just me? Maybe I need to move the book over a little. This book is tremendously huge, folks. All right. There's the cover, not done by Simonson. That's actually Jim Aparo, who came in at the last minute.
Yeah,
which is kind of...
We talked about those legs, weren't we?
Yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
It's really kind of interesting because at this point, Aparo is doing an entire run of Brave and the Bold that are Batman team-ups. And this is the only time he drew Manhunter that I'm aware of. At least it got print. There's the actual original cover that Simonson meant to draw or had drawn that they rejected and had Aparo do something else.
I think both covers are great, but I don't understand why Waltz wasn't used. Oh, we mentioned about the logo, didn't we? And all.
Well, I think more than that, Batman was smallest.
Was secondary,
effectively his own book.
Yeah. So, well, they should take a leaf out of Jack Kirby when he doesn't draw the FF on the cover at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It just depends what was going through the editor's mind. You don't know.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, I mean, back in the day when editors, I'm going to get in trouble for this now. Where editors were editors,
you're not going to get in trouble.
They were also aware of sales. Of
course,
I'm not saying editors now aren't aware of sales. What I'm saying is that the way editors used to be was more business driven.
Yeah.
So they would have ideas about what they thought might be the best way to sell a book. Yeah. Not just what they thought was best for the story or best for the art or whatever. So it was more of a rounded decision from the editor's perspective, I believe.
Yeah.
So
give me just a second while I cover our ass.
The views and opinions expressed within the video content found on the Indie Comics Network are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Indie Comics Network or its sponsors.
There we go. Just in case some editor wants to sponsor us someday.
Yeah, do it.
Right.
I I'm not saying they're wrong to do that, but I'm just saying from my point of view as an artist, I prefer the other drawing. But I do understand what the reasons.
Yeah. I absolutely agree with you. It is by far and away the better cover. Both covers are lovely, but but I think that's the better cover. Yeah.
Plus, the cover, this cover especially has to cover a lot of ground. It's a 100-page super spectacular book to start with. It's got a bunch of other side stories inside of it.
No
super spectacular. I love that. It's a super spectacular book.
Yeah. Well, they don't label it like that up there. I see. No, they used to do a whole run of super spectaculars. It's right there along the spine of the book. Used to be my favorite books out of DC during this period because there were so many short stories in it of unusual characters. So this one carries a Ditko Creeper, a Golden Age Green Lantern, a Golden Age Spectre story, and a really Golden Age Robin story that's pretty funny. So I think that's they reprinted the Polka Dot Man. I'm not sure.
Polka Dot Man.
Somewhere in there. It was used in the last Suicide Squad movie.
He was. That wasn't a bad movie.
No.
I quite enjoyed that.
It gave James Gunn some extra employment. So.
Didn't it?
Yeah. So then he gets to go through and cherry pick what movies get to be made. It's Creature Commandos. What the heck?
I'm not convinced with his choices, to be honest, but there you go. But
I'm not either. I think
I'm not convinced with the whole story. So there you go.
Some of those movies shouldn't be made. Yeah, they'll learn.
Well, yeah, they better do. It sounds like Aquaman isn't going to do well, or Shazam. So,
well, they're already running the trying to get ahead of Shazam. Lowest score or lowest opening box office. It hasn't even come out yet.
Well, I saw the trailer for it yesterday. I'm not surprised.
Well, it's got Helen Mirren in it. How can they go wrong, right?
Well, it will do.
I don't know. I think, but you could go watch a film in the 90s. I know we keep on talking about the 90s, but it was like it was a great decade of things where people were a little bit more carefree. They were looking forward. People had a more positive view of the world, and that came out in the entertainment. And I know there were a lot of dark things as well. Like we had we'd already had deconstruction into full flow as far as comics were concerned. But you could go to the cinema and watch a crap film. I mean, I remember going to see Independence Day. Now that's technically a crap film, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? It was entertaining and fun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I think what's happened is so many films have either a very dark view of the world or a dark view of the soul, or even to get myself in trouble again, sometimes they have a message and the message is just a bit ham-fisted and people are switching off. They're kind of going, oh no, I can't be bothered.
Too true.
The main thing, I mean, that doesn't help me because I've not been to the cinema for years because I think I told you they knocked down my local cinema and I have to drive 10 miles to the next one. And it costs 10 quid for a ticket.
Yeah.
And you've got to park. Mm-hmm. And then the film's crap.
Yeah. 10 quid to park, 10 quid for a ticket for everyone, and 10 quid for a box of popcorn.
That's
you get
right.
in there and you're depressed. It's like, I'll go back and watch reruns of Batman the Animated Movie on my 45-inch TV. Thanks.
Yeah. And then any more 10 quid for the gas to get there.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
and you just, and it's not a wonder that cinemas are like, I mean, obviously the bug. And the response to the bug, is what really hurt cinemas in the last 3 years. But if a good film comes out, like Top Gun, people go to the cinema to see it.
Yeah,
Spider-Man. It's like, I know that was all about member berries, but still, I've got it on DVD. I haven't seen it yet, but I bought it on DVD because I've heard just how great it is. I've seen Top Gun, and it's like, it's the thing that gets you back in, but they don't help themselves with being so expensive. It milks people. You can't go as a family, unless you've got a lot of spare cash. So they're gonna, in the current time with the way things are, economically for everybody, I can't see that cinemas are going to do particularly well in the next couple of years.
The thing that also gets me as well, that irritates me, is that old curmudgeon is that when people are on the phones and getting up to get more popcorn.
Oh yeah, that just I've had bundles with millennials at cinemas. So, and it's not worth it. So you just don't bother going anymore, unfortunately. However, you can still go get good movies, and just like this in comics, you can go get good comics. There's such a massive backlog of comics that I haven't read. And I have a lot of comics, but there's so much out there that you haven't read. Just, dive in.
Do you know, I've never read the Colin Dracula.
No, well, I'm in the middle of that now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've only ever seen the odd page. I've never read the
I got a
issue.
couple of comics when I was a kid and thought they were wonderful. And because of that, and I've heard people talk about Gene Colan on Daredevil, and it's like they're not necessarily his favorite artist on that, but just the way that it works and the way and the beautiful pages. I'm considering going and getting an Essentials for Daredevil with Gene Colan on it.
You should do.
The noir feel that Tom Palmer brings to his work for Dracula is just amazing.
Yeah, beautiful.
See, Colan is to me, or was to me, like you guys were to Kirby. I didn't get Colan to start with, and when he was on Daredevil, I stopped buying it because I didn't like it. I didn't get it, but later, now, it's just fantastic.
Oh yeah.
The Dracula stuff, the Tomb of Dracula stuff, was firmly entrenched in my mind, because of what I'd seen seen it as a kid. It was just fabulous stuff.
But it's like Windsor Smith's Conan or Buscema's Conan. It's iconic. That period is.
Yeah, I mean, and
kind of
and
set
that's
in
weird.
stone. Thank goodness.
Yeah, because like I was saying the other day, I'm not keen on Barry Windsor Smith. I think, is it Machine Man he did?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I've got that book. I bought that book, and I bought it mostly because of the art.
Yeah.
But I wasn't keen, and I know because it had Iron Man from the future that they ended up bringing back in, didn't they, recently?
Yeah.
And I would really loved that, but I'm not that keen on his Conan stuff, to be brutally honest with you.
That's when he was starting out, wasn't it?
Yeah, but the Buscema stuff, I got 16 Buscema, and I got a Marvel Treasury edition of Barry Windsor Smith.
Yeah,
all for $20.
Wow.
Well, you can see him. You can see Smith figuring out what he's doing in the first 25 Conans, though. You see a really great evolution. And for any artist, it's phenomenal to see.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to see. It was fantastic to teach. Like looking at what we're looking at now, you just get to understand how people develop. So yeah.
But you've seen Windsor Smith's paintings, haven't you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, believe me, I'm not faulting him as an artist. It's just a subjective.
Yeah.
Like whether you like a style or not. I'm just not that keen on it. Not for the Conan stuff. Like I said, I went out and bought the Machine Man book, and I picked it up because it was beautiful. So it just shows how artists can be different on different projects as well.
Yeah.
Right now we're joined by Brian K. Morris. How you doing,
Good morning.
Brian?
I'm doing well. How are you?
We haven't gotten past the first page yet.
I understand that. That's
well, we were just waiting for Brian.
Yeah, we're waiting for you, Brian.
Is that what it was? Yeah.
Okay. I'm done. Bye. Okay.
kind of hoping Scott Rosema would show up. He was talking about making it at least.
He's still peeing.
Yeah. Meanwhile, yeah, it could be.
I just spread kitty litter under my chair because I'm a pro.
Oh yeah. Dead silence.
Anyway,
on a lighter note, there's a dead body at the dock in Gotham City that Batman has to swing in and take a look at. Turns out it's one of his best friends.
Oh no.
Who we've never heard of up until that point. Yeah.
Oh, no. Has Batman got a friend?
How can you have more than one best friend?
They keep dying off.
That's it, exactly.
It just gets to the next part of the queue, next position. Your best friend now.
Batman would have to buy his best friend a red jumper, wouldn't he? A red sweater.
Red shirt, yeah. Pretty much. Here, this is for you. No.
Yeah.
No, anything but that.
Oh, dear.
He's flying off to find out who did it. That mustn't be for nothing. Whatever Whatever Dan learned, it's cost Gotham and a fine private detective and me a best friend. That mustn't be for nothing.
Ooh, there's Steranko. Look at that. What? Look at that. It's a real Steranko angle.
Just beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the gun sight here incorporating the Batman logo. And as he preps the gun here in quick succession.
That's a real Steranko, That's like something out of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Then this small strip on the bottom, furthering the plot.
Yeah.
Now he races for his barely abandoned cape and cowl, and he moves forward the beginning of a bloody trail to Gotterdammerung.
Murdered in my own home.
Some fantastically pasted in lettering here.
Yeah.
A lot of and a redrawn arm.
Yeah. Do you think that lettering's been rewritten?
Maybe. Yeah, it's hard to say.
Wow. And if anybody never looked like an assassin, it's that guy, isn't it?
That is the weapons manufacturer we saw before. That was in last week.
The Mauser.
Yeah.
Look at the way he's done the panels in his cape as well.
Yeah.
The folds of his cape. That's great, isn't it? He really thinks about his layout, doesn't he?
There's so much of this that's just classic to me. So, and like I said, I read this as it had come out, and
this is so
really
70s,
left an
though.
impression. Pardon?
This is so 70s.
Yeah.
Is it
marked,
75, is it?
Yeah,
74?
4 of 74 is what this is. It's right there. The signature, Simonson signature along the border with 4 of 74 marked on it.
It's like reminiscent of a lot of the layouts that Neil Adams was doing as well.
Yeah.
And then Starlin and just the wacky layouts. Just love it.
Everybody was really running both Starlin and Adams at this point. Like this. So up the side here are the credits, just almost as an afterthought. Written by Archie Goodwin, drawn by Walter Simonson.
Gotterdammerung.
He's running off. Batman's in pursuit.
Crash.
Trips and falls. Batman's about ready to come on him when suddenly
Batman gets bested. Wow.
some sort of crazed warrior appears and smacks him.
It's more like he's slapping his face than punching.
Gets a palm hand.
Yeah.
Gets a palm hand right the way across his mush.
Wow.
Nice and straight as well.
They get away, leaving the gun.
Look at the angle on that motorbike, like you're an ant.
Run!
Didn't run over. Anything to dramatically reinforce the action here. Just crazy. So one of the few pictures, especially past the early golden age of Batman with a rifle.
Yeah.
Slung over his shoulder. Going into his weaponsmith. Have him take a look at this. What do you think of that? I think it'll heal with a little time. Anyway, I'm clean, crime fighter. Sure, mole. Of course he's called a mole. Look at his nose. Like your bookshop. But I'm not here to hassle you. I want information about this.
So he just drops it and smudges all the fingerprints on it and everything.
Yeah. Say, that's merchandise. Spanking new and specially crafted. A few crates of these. And I'd never have to schlep another used book.
I'm just loving all that 20 miles of cape in the panel on the right-hand page. Right under your hand there. Look how much cape there is.
Yeah.
We won't see anything like that till Todd McFarlane.
Wrightson did that in Swamp Thing.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
He had that unfurled cape. I'm sure this is where McFarlane pulls it up from there and Wrightson. All the crazy cape going off all over the place.
I like the fact that we've got the Chrysler building moved to Gotham City there at the bottom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne bought it.
Yeah. And had it moved like on Thunderbirds when they moved the Empire State Building.
Yeah, I was going to say, isn't that the Empire State Building? Right there.
That's the Chrysler building. That's the Chrysler building, isn't it?
All right. Well, in any case, it's in Gotham now. So,
Yeah.
Gotham's finest. Look at those. Look at the shadow on his hands at the top. It looks like he's got long, really long fingers, like a Nosferatu, doesn't it? Look at that.
Yeah.
claws. Yeah. He's grabbing his cape.
Wow.
And the bad assassin was actually a good guy. He's there with Paul Kirk. They were taking out another council operative. Of which Bruce Wayne's best friend that they found in the dock was one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Here's Batman with another assassin.
Yeah, but look at that foreshadowing on the left-hand page in the lens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
A lot of nice touches.
Yeah.
Again, furrowing cape.
Looks like Princess Diana's train when she got married on her wedding dress. It's about that length, I think.
Great determined shot of Batman. You know he's determined because he's got a clenched fist there in the camera.
Arr! Normally their teeth are clenched as well.
Yeah. And then is the guy jumping off that building because he's in space?
No, he's just standing there. It's a bird's eye view shot of him then getting down, getting ready to shoot. And suddenly Manhunter is there.
Oh, dear.
No. It's those caged ankles that give him away.
With his commando knife.
Clunk. It's great stuff. Just blacks here, back here to denote the exhaust chimneys to show he's on a roof.
On the bottom panel as well, when he's turning, he's done the line work for where his head was before he turned it. So that's good.
It was a quick turn.
Yeah.
Now he needs to run.
Can you say Simonson still got all these pages?
That's the word, yeah. That's
Or at least he got them back, didn't he? As it probably sold a few, I would have thought.
I wouldn't think so.
I
never see any Simonson pages up on the market that I know of. Just convention sketches.
That's something you leave your kids, I suppose, because they'll be worth an awful lot of money.
Probably, yeah. That's history there.
But his kids will be nearly 55 now.
Yeah. They can make their own way to their 55.
There you go.
Fair enough.
Give it to them too early, you'll just spoil
them. That's what also makes this book incredibly special, because word is if you take this book up to him at a show, he puts a head sketch in it for free.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Wow.
When he signs it.
Nice.
Good for Walt. Wow, look at that.
He goes running up to Batman.
Says, "Can I have your signature?"
Yeah.
His book. Save me from the caged ankle, dude.
He's a bit of a flake, this assassin, isn't he? They're usually quite serious people, aren't they? Look at him, telling him all, grassing everybody up.
He doesn't last long. Ugh. Falls.
Yeah, it's not like when Bourne turns up and the other guy turns up, and you know that the other guy's going to die, but he makes a fight of it. You know what I mean? He doesn't cry about it,
and he doesn't apologise for whatever it is he's done.
No, it's like, I'm just going to stick a pen in your hand, and that's the end of it.
Yeah.
I'm going to kill you with this spoon. Come on.
I'm Paul Kirk. You may know me as Manhunter. I know you
No.
as a man said to be ruthless. But this is cold-blooded murder. As bad as the assassin you've killed. Says he was gambling. Says that shouting the truth would make us listen and hesitate until he was close enough to use this. He's got a little knife.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that makes Manhunter look meaner than Batman, doesn't it?
It does. It's the way they portray him.
Yeah.
Later on, you'll see Kirk tells him off because they're going to go storm the castle, and Batman wants to go, and he says, "I'm sorry, you probably shouldn't go." This is because you don't kill. And he goes, "And this is a killing mission." Anyway, walking through the door, meeting the other friends, everybody else that was there, walking down non-existent stairs, shown in black. Yeah. We had that last week.
Yeah.
Remember?
On that left-hand page, in that, see where he's been shot and he's falling down. Where's his hand in that middle panel? Right below your finger. What's he doing there?
Oh yeah, it's there.
Oh,
It's already dropped.
this must be Bruce Wayne's new best friend.
Oh
Yeah.
oh yeah. Now that you mentioned it.
Yeah, now
It's a little off to the side. It's a little off.
And then he covers it up with the cloak.
Yeah. But now he's a stiff.
Yeah.
That's getting awful personal.
Oh boy. TVMA LSV, folks.
Where's that disclaimer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Old
Should have known I
dudes.
was coming here. Come on.
Old dudes.
The views and opinions expressed within
Never mind.
It's too late for that. Well, the thing is, I'm following along with the Comixology copy here. Let Simonson draw something on my iPad. But the colorist didn't do Simonson a lot of favors on this.
No.
The colorist isn't credited, but it just looks so much better here.
Here?
Yeah.
Because we get to see it up
Black
close.
and white. That's
Yeah.
Right off of the originals, including the taped over lettering.
Oh, I love that. Well, like on the right-hand page. Well, on the right-hand page, where they're descending the invisible steps, that's just pale yellow.
Yeah.
No nuance to it whatsoever. It's like whoever did it was coloring with a paint roller.
It's a funny book.
What?
Yeah. It's a funny book.
Deadlines, Brian.
No. Taking this seriously, damn it. It's an art form.
Yeah.
I think even in the later edition that the coloring on that stayed the same. Let me look here.
Yeah, I'm getting right into black and white at the moment.
Yeah, it's pretty garish. The coloring in the
Look at the two Batman things right there. That is a crime.
Yeah.
All that beautiful line work.
Did you see that, Russ? Did you see that recoloring of Halo Jones they've done?
Yeah.
No, I did.
Oh.
I popped that review on your timeline, but I didn't actually get a chance to look at it yet.
They're offering a whole omnibus of all the Halo Jones material together. I'm quite surprised.
I'm glad mine's in black and white.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh dear. It's for this sort of, less is more sometimes, and this whole approach of we've got to have it color. It's got to be color. Got to have color in it. It's like no, you don't have to if that's the way it's presented.
Takes a lot of practice and skill to screw up Ian Gibson's work.
Yes.
Yeah. Precisely. Yeah. And this as well.
I think sometimes I don't know how much of this it is, but I definitely think there's an aspect of it is that American comics are like, we must be color because so much of manga is black and white.
I don't think you see that.
I think it's a differential.
No, I think that right now they don't care. Right now the companies, Marvel and DC, don't give two wits about manga. They tried to do their own manga versions of characters and they didn't fly. They just kind of threw their hands up and said, screw it. And walked away from the entire branch of the art form.
Well, I saw
I understand what you're saying. What I'm talking about is simply just from a marketing, but people who don't know any better,
Oh, yeah.
are making decisions
Mhm.
about, oh, well, ours must be color.
Yeah.
Well,
Do
back
you know
in
what
the
I mean?
80s,
It's, you know,
yeah, back in the 80s when we were doing Arrow comics a lot, the most of Arrows now are all in color, but back then there was a lot of people that passed on us because it was in black and white. Yeah.
Yeah, well, again, that was an approach back then as well.
Yeah.
It was kind of like if it's black and white, it's cheap.
Yeah. just going through your Spank the Monkey, Randy, and it looks superb. One of the reasons is because it's in black and white.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks. Someday we'll get that out. Anyway, exactly.
That's what she said. Sorry, I've been listening to Luke Stone videos too much.
I don't have that video clip.
My computer nearly got a mouthful of tea then.
No, he's got.
Nita wrote something yesterday, and I spat my coffee when I read it. So.
No
Truth
back
is always funny.
Just great. More light sourcing.
It's dense, isn't it? In the right places.
Yeah.
So that panel on the right hand side where he's just left it blank in the background, just left it blank. It's lovely.
Yeah.
And then look at the density of some of those panels below it. So,
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, he's still working. He's still working with a thick panel count here, even though he's got more pages to play with. There's a lot of story to cover.
It's where some artists kind of don't quite get it. It's like either all their panels are too dense or over dense, or all their panels have got hardly anything in the background.
Yeah.
And it's like, it would be easy. You turn around and say to a novice artist and say, right, make sure you get your backgrounds right. And they'll look at this and go, but look at those top panels. It's like, yeah, but this is from a master. This is from someone who understands pacing. Yeah. And the background being included or not is part of the pacing of the story. It's not just a visual choice.
Right.
It's so much more than that.
Even though this is the first book-length story he ever did.
Yeah, well, this guy sort of up good. But it's like you look at the good art, you look at the art that stands out, whether it's from early on or whether it's from late on from any artist. The storytelling that stands out it's paced so well, and it's paced visually. It's not just about the writing; it's about how you pace the visuals. Yeah.
Well, he's also got a masterclass writer here on it as well.
Yeah, it does help.
Yeah.
I mean, you turn up with a fantastic writer, and you've already got a head start.
Yeah. And Simonson wasn't even a pro for 2 years when he did this.
Barely a pro. Yeah.
Yeah.
He had done a short story in Strange Adventure magazine that Atlas did, and then he did the backups for Detective of Manhunter.
Yeah.
And then this. Yeah.
And I think he might have done like a one gold key story that nobody noticed, but yeah, he's got this much command after 2 years.
It's called talent, guys.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, some people have it. It's as simple as that.
Not just talent, but there, like we said last week, there's a lot of everybody else in this as well.
Yeah,
especially up to this point, you're seeing spots of Adams and Steranko, and it's just beautiful, beautiful culmination. Yeah. Like funneled through another creator.
It's that expression, standing on the shoulders of giants.
Exactly.
And it's like, we're not the first to stand on those shoulders.
Eisner
it's a development from way back.
Yeah.
You look at, you hear about, the people that you look at, like Buscema or whoever it might be, Stalin, all these people sort of in that Bronze Age, and they were all talking about Prince Valiant.
Yeah.
They had their and Eisner, and they've all got their own people that they look up to, and it's a steady progression, and that's what developing an art form is all about.
Yep.
And with hindsight,
building on what's come before.
With hindsight, we can see where Walt's going with his style, can't we?
Yeah,
because we know where he ended up with,
Yeah, we're all looking at it from this end, looking back. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, that's a very Adams, that top left, isn't it? That Batman head, top left.
This is that exchange I was telling you about. If you're going to the council, I want to go with you. I said, you don't need to go. This is
look at that knife in the panel.
You don't know.
outside
don't
the
kill
panel.
anybody. He says, and this is a killing mission.
Wow.
Batman looking at the knife.
And just those two little lines with that turn of the head.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, movement lines are undervalued.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like we always say about less is more. You've got to be careful, haven't you? You can't have 15 of them. You know, you need just those two on that Batman. It's just brilliant.
Undervalued and overused. There you go.
Yeah. It's like using any tool. It's knowing when to say when. You know?
Yes.
There is such a thing as too much.
What's that bit there in that where he's throwing that? Has that been added?
Right here, that's a paste in.
Right. Wow.
Didn't quite have that leg right, apparently.
Right.
And there looks like there's some little drawn in background on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder
Or
if
the rest
Walt,
of it
that was done in the office.
I would
leg's
imagine
weird.
Walt did it.
I'm just thinking, you see, because if Walt did it, it would mean that they sent it back, unless he did it before he sent them in. If you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
But if they're in the office, they could have got some staff, maybe to do the amendment. I don't know.
Let's take a closer look.
I was going to say Marie Severin, but that's the other side, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, it very much looks like his stuff. If he didn't do it, then when it's in color, you can see it.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I think most of the people that they had working in the office, I think, were more writers than editors. Like the DC Woodchucks.
Yeah. So I'd say he pasted that in. I don't know why he felt, other than the fact to make sure everybody knew it was in a city, that he threw those buildings back there. That's really the only background on the page outside of your distance shots. So even that doesn't have background on it, but a great car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the coloring on that.
Just
when you look at the planes, that's just atrocious. That's back when they were using plastic plates and garish colors, just horrible.
And only
Compared to
64 colors too, I think.
Yeah.
That plane looks like a C-47, and that's the kind of thing that my dad jumped out of in the war.
Mm-hmm.
But you just show that color version there, Randy. That I noticed the sky was on that panel the coloring was awful on that panel of the plane.
Yeah.
I just love that ridiculous costume he's got on.
Yeah.
It's just it's like this guy's an assassin who sneaks around the shadows and finds his prey and takes them out, and he's like got this big bloody blues on with the stars on the front.
Yeah, it's not good, is it?
You don't care.
Well, we have a little bit of exposition here as they're flying to their the council secret headquarters, and it was something that reading later notes on the work was something that they were going to bring into the series, and that is the fact that Paul Kirk is running around killing an entire army of his clones, and it doesn't go unnoticed.
Is that
or unfelt by him? This is how much the world has changed since my death back in '46. Except for meeting people like you and Asano Christie, there's not much that makes me glad of being restored to life by the council. He says it's part of the reason I fight them so ruthlessly. I didn't welcome death, but coming out of World War II, weary, disillusioned, I found a kind of peace in it, a peace the council shattered.
Is that plain panel stuck on the bottom of the page? It is, isn't it? The whole.
Yep, there's a cut line right there. Absolutely.
There
might have been more here broken up, and they said, no, just, you know what? I'm going to draw a great picture of a plane, and we'll put all of this verbiage in around it. This is I owe Dr. Mycos and his 8 fellow council members a good deal, Christine. Besides my peace, they stole the one thing that's any human's right. It's his individuality. They cloned me, duplicated me over and over, took my uniqueness and turned it into an army of ciphers. Each time I kill one of those damned clones, I feel I'm reclaiming part of myself.
That's deep.
Sounds like Highlander.
Yeah.
I am
road
Juan
trooper.
Ramirez of Egypt. Yeah, you sound Egyptian, mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a one of those sort of how the film was made things, and they had the speech coach on.
Hmm.
So they had like the French guy who was Highlander, who was supposed to be Scottish, who sounded French.
Lambert,
and they had Sean Connery, who was supposed to be Egyptian or Spanish or something, and he sounded like he's from Glasgow.
Yeah.
And they were both going on about how great this speech coach was. And it was like, this is ridiculous.
Well, you were.
Sack her or don't bother employing her because it's rubbish.
There's a certain level of give and take that you have to do in those movies.
It didn't matter. I was completely invested in those characters. It didn't
Well,
matter
maybe Lambert and Sean Connery decided not to bother. They couldn't do it. Maybe it wasn't her.
Yeah.
I could definitely see that out of Connery at that point. If I have to dress up in this
better.
ridiculous red outfit, hell, I did Zardoz. God damn it, I'll do whatever I want.
I'm gonna chop your heat off.
I'll tell you what, if they'd made that film now with the current tribe of people who make these films, that Sean Connery's wife, when was he from? 12:30 or something? 12:30 would have been called Moneypenny. So he could have said yes. So he could have said yes, Moneypenny. You know.
100 no's and a yes means yes.
And just as you step off the plane, blam.
Oh, wow. Did they not put the steps up?
Took the one guy out.
It's Biden.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he got shot. He's dying.
Oh, no.
He's already
He hit the floor hard.
Blam.
He got blammed. Yeah.
He got blammed. It's a lovely rag doll.
Yeah.
Of the guy, hitting the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not easy to do.
That's all the weight, isn't it?
Yeah, that is not easy to do.
Yeah.
It's the difference between drawing a figure and drawing a living being. It's just, well, obviously he's dead there, but you know what I mean?
Except he's dead.
Like that reality of the way that the body is.
Yeah. That illustration of the Manhunter in that panel is a bit odd, isn't it?
Here.
At the top, in the middle panel where the guy's sitting on the ground there.
Yeah.
The way that pose is a bit strange.
Yeah, it's a little off the floor. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how they used to avoid bullets in the Warner Brothers cartoons. You just jump straight up in the air.
Yeah. Well, they're getting ready to take on the assassin. Batman's already handled it.
He's both handled it.
Even though the other guy already died.
Do you know, Walt must spend a lot of time doing a lot of research on these weapons and things, but look at that wheel and that propeller. Isn't it fantastic?
Yeah.
On the left hand head, yeah.
Yeah.
Not straight up either. It's off at just enough of an angle to know what
yeah.
to use. Yeah.
It's fantastic, isn't it?
That there's weight there. Yeah. Just great. And of course, if I'm going to draw a picture of Batman, there you go.
Yeah.
He's got to have antlers.
It's going to look great.
Antlers.
So they decide to join forces. Good. So they all storm the castle. They're the secret council headquarters.
So is this the last story of Manhunter?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yes and no. We'll get to that. Then the fight begins.
Hey, punch up.
The guy we saw earlier.
The guy with the great palm strike.
Yeah. Punching and counter punching.
Oh, yeah, I do that all the time. Just stand on put on my hands and then kick someone from behind.
That's why we fear you.
Yeah, all the time. Flip flap, flip flap, flip flap. Good Lord.
And then the lethal elbows thrust behind the hips here.
Come and get it.
Dramatic pose, yeah.
Russ, you don't have to answer this, but have you ever used your black belt techniques in a real situation? So
yeah, in the change room the other day, I flicked someone on the bum with it.
No, I don't mean that.
Oh, right,
You know-
okay.
You're
you know what I
savage.
mean. You know what I mean. Walking down the street type
I've
of thing.
only ever defended myself once, and I didn't hit anyone.
Right.
I simply defended myself, and they realised that it probably wasn't a good idea and walked away. That's as far as I'm going to go.
Yes. Okay.
Till the statute of limitations runs out.
Yes, that's right. Yeah,
Good man. On advice of counsel.
yeah. You don't. The great thing about martial arts, if they're taught properly, is that you don't get into fights
True.
because you're aware and you're confident, and you exude that confidence, but also you tend to veer away from trouble. You're kind of more aware of your environment if you're taught properly. I'm not talking about being sort of like Secret Service rubbish. Just in general, you're just a little bit more aware and a little bit more observant, and you just tend to veer away from it. So I tend not to get in any trouble.
Well, I'll tell you what I did, just as an aside. I went into a pub once, minding my own business, and it's packed, and I was confronted by these 5 guys, 5 of them, no kidding, 5. I was about 20. They were the same age, and this guy came up to me and he put his face in mine and he said, "Do you want to fight?" And I don't know how I did this. I just put my face in his and said, "Yeah," and they all went.
Yeah. It tends to happen that way.
And then when they'd gone, I collapsed.
Yeah, I did that when I was a kid a couple of times. Similar things, and people tend to back down. And a guy I trained with was actually mugged a couple of years back, and he took them out with 1 punch each. He just because they weren't expecting it. So what, they were like one in front, one behind. He hit one and then hit the other one, and they ran away. Well, the second one got up and ran away, but it's so it's just so much of the time, so many people like that are just a bit. They're just a bit full of themselves. So, but yeah, I mean that where he's got his elbows back like that.
Yeah.
Down in that bottom, that isn't something you do. You don't stand there doing that. But there are techniques where you bring your arms back so that you can throw your hands forward across. And you do that in order to tempt the attack, as it were. So he's kind of like he's almost like he is tempting the attack there, and the other guy's come in and then he's blocked it, as you can see with that cross block on the next round. So.
And then he whacks him.
Great succession here as we go down. Great vertical panels here, running down and then running up as Manhunter is climbing up into the.
That's very cool.
Into the roof and then.
I don't think I'm not sure about the nunchucker device on the top right. He may take off.
Yeah.
He may take off the back of his skull is what it is. Around this time I actually bought a set of nunchucks, and I still have them. And it's the only time I've ever been knocked out.
Luckily, there was no video at the time. Yeah.
Thank God. I was for some reason at 2 a.m. I think I was intoxicated too. I believed I was Bruce Lee for a moment. Next thing I know, I'm like whipping it around from left to right, and then I feel this sharp pain in my left temple, and then I knew no more for the next 2 hours.
I watched this sequence from Way of the Dragon only yesterday, where Bruce Lee's got those, what they call them,
nunchucks. Yeah.
He's got those, and he's whizzing them around his head like he does and trapping them under his arm. And he doesn't look comfortable doing it at all, because you can see him blinking and thinking, "Oh, this is going to hurt if it goes wrong." You can see his face. I'm sure they speed it up.
I tried doing that another time when I thought I was Bruce Lee, and I thought I was going to take my arm off.
So how many times do you think you were Bruce Lee?
Twice.
We have.
I learned
that he remembers.
We have special lightweight foam ones so that you can practice with them.
There you go. Yep.
Well, now we've got them, but when you have an imbecile like me and a 6-pack,
the other ones,
the
other ones we use as solid wood.
You had to have
painful.
The real thing,
Yes. But they only hurt for a second till you pass out.
Yeah. It doesn't take long. It's a fleeting pain.
until you meet Indiana Jones and he just shoots you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not having any of that. Get out.
Yeah.
Look at that whack. That's a kick, isn't it, on top of the page? Look at that. Boom.
And of course, the mask he knocks off of him. The guy is his best friend.
That's
All
a
right.
nicely,
That was dead on the docks earlier.
That's a nicely positioned kick as well. It's a
Yeah.
nice side
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice little explosion
Bang.
instead of the face.
Bang.
Just destroyed his head.
Off comes the mask. We're keeping him anonymous until that panel.
Yeah.
Damn Kingdom. Thwack.
That was his buddy. Whack.
Dan Kingdom.
Great-
That
great
sounds like
negative space here.
a 70s ITV show.
Well,
Yeah.
there you go. Welcome to 1974.
1974. This year, look out for Dan Kingdom. Women love him and men want to beat him.
Yep.
Oh, there's some freaky Batman cape stuff going on in the bottom left hand
There
corner.
is, yeah. I was looking at that. Yeah, it was like it's like kind of a Steve Ditko Doctor Strange effect.
Yeah. Well, you're showing all this negative space. You might as well take it up.
Yep. He
Flare it
doesn't
out
waste anything, does he?
Yep. Why? Why bother? Yep. Manhunter comes in to the main council member who's wearing a silly hat.
It's Galactus' his cousin.
So he takes a few shots at him, and the
Bam, bam, bam.
hat has a beam that comes out and
Of
fries.
course it
Oh,
does. Yeah.
nice. I
Yeah.
like hats like that.
Damn you, Paul Kirk.
I'm done talking.
You
Now
should
I
say.
demonstrate.
You should say, "I'm done talking. Now I demonstrate with my grossly out of proportion hand."
Yeah, and I'm looking at the
Demonstrating.
coloring on that helmet on the right hand page. It's like light yellow, white, pink, light
Mhm.
orange, white, and light blue
Oh,
and
damn.
green.
Lovely.
It's like whoever colored this. I've still got a couple drops of this one color here. I hate to pour it out.
Oh, look at
Does
that.
it look like that?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, no.
yeah. I wish I could identify the colorist. Because I can't see that Simonson did this.
Let me
No.
see if there's any credits here for
I should probably look.
Coloring.
Yeah, I didn't see any in the comic. This is before they started giving a lot of colorist credits anywhere. It kind of reminds me of Jerry Serpe because he always used like a lot of that light yellow.
oh my god. You'll never guess who colored this or who they're crediting coloring.
Who?
At
Glennis
least on
Wayne.
mine. No. No,
Wheezy.
at least on mine, this is all this whole book is colored by the same person. You'll never
Wheezy.
guess.
Wheezy Simonson.
Nope.
No.
Ready?
Go on.
Ready?
Claus Jansen.
Oh, you're joking.
No, not joking at all.
Oh my god.
Eek. Claus. I believe you,
Followed by
but
Klaus Janson.
Oh,
wow.
Jansen.
Oh my.
I've never been a fan of
Oof.
Klaus.
Well, as a colorist, it makes a good inker.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'll agree
that's
with
a
you
nice
there.
way of putting it. Yeah.
Look at that panel. You know the panel you were saying about when we said about the Doctor Strange thing with the cape on the
Yeah.
left hand side. Get the color up again, Randy, and you can see how it's nearly ruined it. You can't see it in the
Pink.
comic,
Checking
can
out
you?
all of the detail
All the-
here, though.
Yeah. All
Yeah,
the drama's gone.
yeah, and the thing is, I'm looking at, like I said, the Comixology version, and that is in here is which I don't have the original detective issue, but in this it's a like pink.
Wow.
Oh, they might have paid Claus. This is the anniversary edition. They might have
Yeah.
paid Claus to go through and recolor it, thinking that they were going to get something spectacular.
Oh dear.
He sure fooled them.
Yeah. Wow.
Cancel that check.
That's right. Yeah, because it's like a light pink. It's that Pepto-Bismol pink.
Oh yeah.
Abysmal.
Yeah, I remember what is it, the old Trading Spaces TV show from England, and one of them referred to that color as pank.
Hank.
Not
Pank.
just pink, but pank. You know.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it does.
So our hero is fried.
Oh, dear. There's lots of panels. It's amazing, isn't it? Because
Like I said, he didn't let up with the panel count on the page. He uses every little bit.
Good Lord, there's a lot of panels.
Of course, you notice that as Simonson went on, he cut down the number of panels he put per page. So
Let me look here. I think we'll be looking at some Simonson if we can get to it. Yes. Yeah, we'll be looking at more modern Simonson here in just a second.
Cool.
Or a few minutes once we get there.
Yeah, because Ragnarok isn't like this.
Large fights, lots of tightness. Well, again, see, he's coming off of having to tell a 20-page story in 8 pages as well in all of those chapters we went through last week. If you haven't watched that, folks, go back and look at it.
yeah,
It's worth your time. A lot of great stuff there.
I was saying before about the detail. Look at that guy that got firing that machine gun in the center panel. That's a German MG38. That you can tell by the stock. That's the one that's on the cover.
Yeah.
It's our man that was dead before. Kulu.
Yep.
He comes back.
Fantastic. I think Walt must have a thing for German weaponry with using a Mauser and that.
Yeah.
But it's great.
Is that a Mickey Mouser?
And again, even though he's fried, his costume is sheared, his healing factors coming into play here. It's getting back up.
Thud.
What? Thud. With the back of the knife.
So this guy gone for some omnipotent force to us being scared in that panel.
Yeah. He's tied into the other council members through the helmet.
Right.
The ones that are in suspended animation that we looked at last week. And that great Steranko panel.
Yeah.
So he knocks him out. Batman's there recovering. He's walks over to the guy and puts his helmet on. Yeah, scientists going, no.
Playing with each other's helmets.
This is how we'll get this done. So you see him telling them all to self-destruct.
Wow.
And somewhere beneath the earth, against the resisting minds of the 5 frozen men struggling to preserve a corrupted vision, Paul Kirk fights his last battle. So you know what comes up next? And wins.
Wow, look at that. Boom.
Yeah.
No sound effect.
Nope. None
Don't
needed.
need it.
No, I agree. But somebody else would have slapped a big boom over the end, or batoom or something, wouldn't they?
Yeah. Probably.
Yeah.
That's
Right
how
across
you-
all that line.
Bada boom boom. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
That must have been a temptation, especially
Yeah.
at this point. Yeah.
That's the most. That's the most him that I've seen.
Yes.
Simonson
Yeah.
here.
Yes.
Simon, that's the most Simonson I've seen in the whole book. That
Yeah.
explosion. That's just
Good use of French curves on that smoke.
yeah. Check that smoke out. The graphic nature of it, and just
Yeah, and something else we'd mentioned, Steranko, the Asian martial artist. I notice his hair is like Steranko's. That there is no line around the outside. All you see is like the waves in it.
Yep. None needed.
Yep, exactly.
And of course, here at the end,
Show us that page in colour, Randy. Please.
self-destruction doesn't strike me as the council's style, particularly if it didn't include us. Since then, it was Manhunter. He said they'd robbed him of the only piece he'd ever found, I suppose, in his own way. He's taken it back.
Da-da-dum.
so deep.
And that page.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
What is that? Klaus must have been thinking, damn, I wanted that inking job.
I'll show them.
That pin-up on the right there, that's so flamboyant, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very classic, though. Iconic, actually, for the character.
That is.
So
It
they
looks like
use
it
that quite often.
It looks like he's stood on his signature and squished it, doesn't it? It's going
Yeah.
up from his foot. Wow.
It's great, though.
Squishy.
Oh, yeah.
Squishy.
Anyway, what I've got here is the special edition. What is it? The 30th or 25th? No, it had to have been. It was some celebratory time. They were celebrating Archie as well. So it was after 98. Let me see. That time is 85. Check the edition here. Published in 89. No, that's copyright 89 for the special edition. Yeah, so that's probably when this was done quite a while later.
Mhm.
This is a story that Walter and Archie had always talked about doing as a final chapter for.
Oh, is this the one without the words on?
Yeah.
Great.
So
You know
Simonson did it for this. Simonson did it for this this book, and it's in all of the other collected ones after this one was done. But he did it without any dialogue in tribute to Archie. So,
What just before you turn it a page, what I like about Walt Simon's work is his design sense, the way that, particularly those searchlights, the way there's nothing in them, the way they break up all that black and line, they're all going against all the other lines.
Mm-hmm.
Makes it jars your eye, but it makes you look at it to work it out. It's very good.
There's also a strong Art Deco feel to the whole thing.
Yeah, I was thinking, Chrysler building again with those little faces,
nice clock tower there.
Big Ben.
And outside of the just a few blam blams there.
Yeah.
Well. Just at the lower right, just to move the eye along.
See that sort of eagle thing down at the left, the bottom one at the left.
Mm-hmm.
That one. It immediately reminded me of that the cyborg guy in what's it called in
Terminator 2. You're thinking about the blade.
The policeman when he's getting up off the ground and he's got those blades, hasn't he? Trying to get in the car.
Yeah.
In the truck.
This whole thing has got a. It feels like a 2000 AD vibe.
It does, yeah. Look, Mega City 1, isn't it?
I could just imagine that being the opening page to a Judge Dredd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if I bet it's seen that. Would you have seen that at this point?
Oh yeah.
If
yeah,
it's 74,
absolutely.
When is this? Sorry.
This is probably 89.
Oh yeah, it's way after.
He will have done that. Yeah.
We'll look for a signature in here somewhere. Maybe not on this page, but somewhere in there, I'm sure there's one.
Do you know what I just did then? You know when you cast your shadow over the screen, Randy? I looked behind me because I thought somebody was behind me.
I'm looking for a date on this. I'm pretty sure it's 89. Co-plotted by Goodwin and Simonson, illustrated by Simonson, colored by Klaus Janson again.
Can we see that page in colour, please?
Yeah, I'm afraid so.
Yeah. Oh, take it away.
Oh, all that line work.
Yeah.
That's not good, is it? That's not good.
I'm sure that was the cover that they were going to use for that book.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this.
Not sure what was supposed to go there. That's intentionally left open.
Would it be a title, do you think?
I don't know. Maybe.
Credits?
Not sure. Does kind of break up the action. And they're tracking a character as he jumps across. Commissioner Gordon there.
Look at those circles for the sirens. It's fantastic, isn't it?
Flashing lights. It's a little more modern cars here.
Wow, look at that. Bit of light boxing going on there, I think. Or it's a print, isn't it?
Yeah, it's probably
Actually, yeah, he's probably working off of a background or off of a Xerox and working on top of it, because this looks like, especially this part here, looks like it was pasted in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably all of that was. The spotlights and everything are the same.
Yeah.
Well, this would have been pre-Photoshop, so.
Line work. Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a different coloration here.
Mm-hmm.
It's slightly discolored. That might have been added in this part here.
Well,
Those would have been PMTs, wouldn't they, Ross?
I'm not seeing a cut in or anything.
Yeah, you might have done a PMT on that.
yeah, because I'm
That
looking
would be
here.
nice and black, wouldn't it? Rather than the photo, and the lines would be.
Yeah. They'd
Wouldn't
be
as
blurred.
furry.
They'd be nice and sharp, wouldn't they, with the
Be
PMT?
sharp, yeah. And 89 would, I mean, that's full on. By then, PMT machines and
Yeah.
rostrum cameras, all that is in full swing.
Well, plus maybe it's just my monitor, but I see like the top left panel is pretty white, but then all the others have like
Got a
one
little
degree or
yellow.
another of yellow.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
No,
No.
and that
That's
could
what we're
easily,
saying.
No,
that
it's
could
pretty
easily
white
be
here.
the chemicals.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the main drawing, and then
Yeah.
reproduction.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they discolor after time, Brian.
Yeah,
with
I
PMTs.
think you're
Okay,
right, Glenn.
good.
I reckon
Yeah.
they're PMTs, yeah.
Yeah. It's very cinematic, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Superb, isn't it? I mean, look at the right hand page, the way his legs appear, then his whole body hits the ground. The guy in the cloak thing. It's just amazing.
Yeah. And again, we've seen that cloak before. It's a sound. Chasing after Manhunter. Looks so different in the colorized version.
Oh my god. That's awful. Isn't it?
Brian's just collapsed.
Pure example of browning out, away from all of the detail. Look at all of this work here. Just beautiful.
And you would think an artist himself would be more sympathetic to that.
When you're getting paid by the page.
No,
I told you wanted that ink in check.
I think colorists come in two types.
Good and bad.
A bit like letterers. You've got colorists who are artists,
Mm-hmm.
and then you've got colorists who are designers.
Yeah.
And they come to the job as a design job, and they do what they do. Whereas artists will come at it. That's why you see so many different varied versions of coloring, because some people will flat and then graduate and put airbrush effects on it and what have you, and other people will kind of paint it.
Mm-hmm. True.
So
good point.
And I'm not knocking those people who are designers who do extra work as colorists. It doesn't, just because that's the process doesn't mean that you're going to come out with a bad product. I'm just saying that colorists seem to come in two types, and the types that we tend not to like are those results of designers who maybe see it a certain way. So
That's true. That's true.
I mean, and the whole approach of why you would need to color this, why feel the need, and that comes out of like marketing and the approach to comic art in general.
Mm-hmm.
It's not one place. You can't look in one place for why it's not more acceptable to do more black and white in mainstream.
I get big Nick Fury Steranko vibes from those 2
yeah.
pages.
Yeah.
The page on the right, especially.
Yeah, especially.
Oh,
yeah.
sure.
Quick succession here if
Yeah.
you're packing
And
up.
you're seeing him, his style has developed
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
those 15 years.
And look at
getting-
that drawing of that Mauser again. It's
There we
beautiful,
go.
isn't it?
Getting ready to take off his mask when he hears a thick.
Just it's like it's cleaner, more graphic.
Well, it's like Alex Toth used to say that he spent the first 15 years of his career figuring out what to put into the panel. Then he spent the rest of his career figuring out what to take out.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean, you talk about you have that whole sort of 10,000 hour rule and all the rest of it.
yeah,
You know,
true.
I must have done 10,000 hours by now, but I feel like I'm at the beginning still.
Yeah.
You know, I still feel like now's the time to kind of maybe, you know, I've sat in a seat. I know all the ways of how to drive my car. I know what to do. I just haven't got going yet.
I feel the same way as a writer. I understand that.
Yeah.
So you don't feel like, you know, the stuff that you've done so far is without merit, or that it hasn't been, you know,
Some of it at least.
Well, yeah.
I can at least have honor in that. You know, so you don't feel that it's without merit, and that, you know, there's some good stuff in there and you've learned along the way. You just feel like, and this isn't the same as that whole sort of, I can't stand the thing that I did 2 months ago.
Yeah.
It's not that. It's not beating yourself over the head.
Yep.
It's looking at your work and going, yeah, okay, I've done that. I'm going okay, but the next step is required.
Yeah.
You know, it's always looking to improve, but it's bigger than that. It's about how you present. Look at that once again. Use of backgrounds or not use of backgrounds. That left-hand page is fantastic. Also, like, only 4 panels, not 14.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like so dense. Those top 3 panels are so dense.
There's a slight break here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, right. So nicely
That's
done.
actually, 5. But that's in order to keep you waiting. You focus in on Christine's face. She's got a different face.
gun.
She's determined here, and she's hesitating here, which Manhunter
and then
takes
that
advantage
fantastic shot of Manhunter on the bottom left with no background, just the key line. Just fabulous.
That's him whipping out the Mauser.
Yeah.
And
the line work seems more confident too, a little bolder than his earlier stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got an image maybe we can look at afterwards of his on X-Men. And just to see how the style changed.
X Factor?
No, I think it's X-Men, but but whatever. And then obviously, if anyone's seen his current work, it's a different step again.
Yes.
It's become looser, and yet it's fantastic. It's just beautiful.
Like we were saying last week. We were saying last week, we need to see if there's one of these for Star Slammers. And take a look at that, because that's an incredible work too. But yeah, on his page, I think he posted a X Factor splash
that's
page.
the one. That's the one I got. Right.
Archangel and Cyclops.
Yeah, okay, so X Factor. Yeah, I've got that. So we can pop that up afterwards and just have a quick look.
Yeah,
because it's just lovely to see his development.
Yeah, absolutely. We're already at an hour and 15. Folks, sorry, I didn't mean to neglect the chat. There's not much in there. Marv is in the chat. Marvy, hope you're doing well. Greetings, Center. Catch you later. Take care, Marvy. That's what a lot of people do. All right, me babbers, Bristolian Dave in the house. Glad you're here with us, Dave. We enjoy this great work.
You got a lot of watching later on this.
Oh yeah. Well, that's what we get for doing it this early in the morning, right? Whip whip. A lot of thucks. He's thucking around here. Thuck, thuck, thuck.
No thucks given.
No thucks given.
So the girl isn't dead.
Oh, she had a
No,
a
she had a vest on.
vest on.
Yeah.
And he didn't go for the head.
Not very good, is he?
No.
But Sano was good enough to hit his gun
Yeah.
instead of taking a kill shot to the side of the head.
Yes. Yes, he actually missed with 3, didn't he?
That would have been a thunk. Yeah. So they go out the window pursuing him. Jumps out the window.
Is the next panel falling 15 floors?
After him.
Yeah.
On the rooftop, I believe. No, the next panel is Brooklyn Bridge.
Oh,
Beautifully
look
done.
at that bridge.
I've walked across that bridge.
Which bridge is that then?
Brooklyn.
To me, it looks like the Manhattan Bridge.
Oh, right.
Manhattan Bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not Brooklyn Bridge.
It's
I
the
don't know.
Manhattan
I've only
Bridge.
been to New York a couple times. That's not. I'm saying that's not the bridge that Gwen Stacy died off of.
Yeah, that was the Brooklyn Bridge, wasn't it?
Yeah.
All that shading in the
So
clouds.
Yep. Almost Mobius and line work up
Yeah.
here.
It's fantastic, isn't it?
Blam.
That would be a great page.
Yeah.
That'd be a good page at auction. Open panel here.
Yeah.
Mauser coming out. Muzzle coming out. Mauser muzzle. Ping.
Oh, it's a very thin muzzle.
Yeah. So nice to see the non-standard stock blam.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Blam,
I think.
blam, blam.
I wonder if Walt does that lettering, because they seem that turns up on his work a lot, and his letters change.
Check and see here.
I would imagine he did
If
all
not
of
him,
it.
it's John Workman, probably.
Yeah,
Well, would they have bothered giving it to an external letterer?
that's what I mean. That's why I
Bearing
think
in mind, there's no. Yeah.
I think
There
it's
is
Walt.
no notation for lettering on.
Yeah. I think
I
that's
reckon he did
Walt.
it himself.
Probably
not at all.
Simonson then.
Yeah. Look at
Simonson
the
did letter his early stuff, I believe.
Yeah.
yes. Look at that star thing coming in off the panel from
Yeah.
outside the panel.
Ping.
Yeah.
Isn't that great? It's fantastic. Just a little simple thing like that changes the whole thing.
And an hour and 15 minutes in, we're now joined by Mr. Scott Roseman.
Excellent.
Dark Lord is
Very
here.
good to see
Dark
you,
Lord
my
Roseman.
young apprentices. And I feel the hatred growing with you,
Oh, he's on to us.
my young Jedi.
He knew that morning voice was good for something.
Something.
Have you just come in from prowling the rooftops, Scott, with that hoodie on?
I have to do this every time I look at my mail because nobody could recognize me.
Just back in from patrol.
So they know it. So they know it's you because you're the only person who does that.
And that's in my neighborhood. Imagine it's like in other people's. I can't imagine.
How is wonderful Muskegon? Snowy? How many inches of snow did you get?
Iced in quite nicely.
Yeah.
Iced in quite nicely. Nothing too thick, but skate to your mailbox.
We are on the final chapter here of Simonson.
Yes.
Goodwin's plotted out Manhunter. This was done in the 80s after the main detective issue was done. So it's printed in the special edition collection,
God.
which we have.
They put out a special edition of it?
Oh, they've reprinted this book so many times. It's probably one of the most reprinted DC books outside of Detective 28, maybe Superman 1, Action 1. Might have been printed more, but they put out multiple collections on Manhunter because the story is that good and self-contained. So.
Oh, God, yeah. Boy,
See, the first reprint collection of this was done by an outside source. Somebody come in and licensed the material. after the last Detective Comics was out and printed it all in black and white.
Was that something that Archie Goodwin and Simonson had rights to?
No, it's something they licensed out of DC to get it done. It was a kind of a fan press type book. I've got it.
Oh, no,
I've got it here, and that's all in black and white, but it's magazine size.
That's a rare thing for back then, especially. Man.
Yeah, especially for DC. But the story was that good. They just went, and DC wasn't interested at all in reprinting it at the time, so they just they did it.
Wow, that's amazing. But look at this thing. Wow. Look at that, the bridge sequence there.
That didn't include this story, so that just included everything up through Detective 443.
Oh, okay. Well, I know I'm late to the party, but boy, look at that cityscape back there.
Really,
Oh man, that's just amazing. I haven't seen this in so many years. Oh my god!
You might not have seen this at all unless you've caught one of these reprints.
Look at that look on the guy's face at the bottom where that bullet just misses him.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, it's just going to work,
Yeah,
bullets flying around.
Oh, holy crap! It's that student loan officer again. There's that John Workman lettering too. It's you can see that there.
We're not sure if Workman lettered this or if Simonson did it all on his own.
Oh, I don't know. It looks a lot like Workman. It doesn't say so in the credits.
No.
Oh,
I'll look in the front of the book after we're done with this. Maybe it's listed in there. You're still running. There's no dialogue in this story.
Oh wow! And look at how ahead of his time Simonson was to use these not kabuki masks, but these Japanese assassin masks and stuff. Oh man,
that was back in the 70s. He had that mask. Yeah.
Did you model for that, Scott?
On a really bad day, I could have. Yeah.
Is that why you grew the beard?
Same hood.
Well, let me see if I can't recreate that. Oh yeah, let's see. No, I don't think I work. Boy, imagine this stuff. Wow.
And again, just the great use of blacks here.
Oh God,
just great.
Man. How many years difference between this one and the original Manhunter?
At least 15.
15 years. Wow.
The special edition is copyrighted in 89.
Oh, geez.
But I don't think that's. I bought it. I bought it at Ollie's.
I thought so.
Oh,
$1.99
for a whopping $1.99. Yeah.
When did you get that?
Huh?
Was that recently or?
About 3 years ago, 4 years. It was before I went down to COVID. So, yeah.
Yeah,
and I walked out of there with a huge. One of the last Comic Cons that I did here, the Flint Cons. I had a good dozen of these. I went through and bought Ollie's out completely and just gave them away. So have you ever read Manhunter? Here, read this. This is awesome. You're going to love this.
Oh,
so I gave away all but one copy of it.
Oh, I missed your charitable moment there. I should have been around.
Yeah, this is noted at February 1999 by Simonson. There's an N and afterword in this edition. Jeez. This is the last word. Shortly after Archie returned to work for DC Comics some 7 or 8 years ago, we were approached about the possibility of doing a new Manhunter story to be included in a reprint edition of the original series. While Archie and I liked the idea of a new collection, neither of us was especially keen about creating a third resurrection of Paul Kirk, merely for the sake of doing one more story together. Manhunter's end was not only spectacularly final, but structurally crucial to the realization of the character of Paul Kirk, reclaiming as he did both his own identity and his past. We kicked around various ideas over the years, but nothing gelled, and a new Manhunter story remained undone.
Wow.
Then one day, as I was drifting by my usual aimless wanderings around DC in search of editors to annoy, Archie pulled me into his office. He had an idea for a Manhunter story he thought might actually work, and wanted to run it past me. I began to get excited. Archie had thought of a story that would leave the original series untouched, but still echo many of the elements we thought had made the strip work in the first place. A couple of hours later, I had about a page and a half of semi-comprehensible scribbles, the plot of a new Manhunter story that we would not only live with, but even embrace enthusiastically. I took the notes home to work out the layouts, and there they sat on the upper right corner of my drawing board. I began compiling visual reference I would need for the story, but I was working on a monthly title that was consuming most of my time. I added several unsatisfactory pencil attempts at a cover to the reference pile, but that was all. And then one day, Archie was gone. He'd been ill for years, and although in retrospect, the toll of his illness took us unsurprising, I was, like all his many friends, stunned by his death. I hadn't completed the layouts, and consequently, Archie had never written the script. When he died, I had a lot of wonderful memories, some modern weapons reference, a few cover roughs, a page and a half of notes, and that was all. Our last collaboration remained unfinished. It might have ended there, except that one day my wife, Louise, suggested that perhaps I could do the story as a silent comic, a final Manhunter adventure without Archie's words. But with the story we had worked out together, maybe, I thought, with sound effects, since I had written my own back then, it would seem worth a try. When the original strip was wrapping up, Archie and I joked that maybe we should retire, that this was about as good as it was able to get. I can't speak for Archie, of course. He did a lot of wonderful work with a lot of wonderful artists, but I hope with all the writers and artists that I've had the good fortune to work with over the years, will forgive me when I say that although I worked on some terrific collaborations since then, it was never any better. This one's for you, partner.
Wow.
Nice.
So it sounded like he did do the sound effects then in that one little bit where he said he.
That's what it sounds like, since he did the sound effects in the original.
Yeah.
He didn't find, they said that he didn't find workmen until the Alien adaptation that we looked at.
Oh, okay.
So all of this stuff was done before that.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Again, paste in.
Yeah, gee whiz.
And taking out the Manhunter falling almost like he did in the original series off of that building. Remember? He did that long vertical panel.
Boy, look at the intensity of the Manhunter's face there as he.
Yeah.
Obviously Batman coming up to him.
Look at that sequence there where he's running towards the car. He jumps on the roof and then he sees hands. Just flick your eyes quickly over those 3 panels. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The way it moves.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
It literally almost seems like animation, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Man, oh, man.
Right.
And here's one for Russ. That lovely rendering of that girl's Beretta 92 weapon she's got there, and that Mauser.
Oh, yeah. Man, oh, man.
But look at that, and that back to that sequence again where he jumps on the roof. Look at the first panel where he's running. It's really moving, isn't it, that guy?
Uh-huh.
You know,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, the way he's moving, then he leaps and then you just see. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's fantastic storytelling, that.
Oh. And the fact that there's such a great size differential between that first figure and then when he's touching the roof.
Yeah.
And it has that not quick cut, but a quick transition to size and movement so that it almost brings across that animation feel.
Yeah. And as Russ has said earlier, he sets the scene with all the backgrounds, and then there's no backgrounds at all in the next 2 panels.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Wonderful. Ruined by the colour.
It actually almost is. I mean,
On the plus side, with the color, at least Manhunter is such bright red that he really pops out
yeah.
there in that panel. Let me show that again.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just pops right out.
Yeah, gee whiz.
To be fair to Klaus Janson, I bet he wasn't looking at or thinking about the paper stock, quality of the printing.
No, that
No.
makes
And
sense.
unfortunately, it's lower quality newsprint.
Yeah, I can't imagine Klaus Janson doing such a bad job as that.
No.
Yeah, it might look better on prestige paper. Yeah.
Mhm.
Look at the sequence again on the second page where we've got the crack. He gets hit in the face, and then look at the guy who's hit him. He's hanging on, and then he's curling up, and then he's back on the.
Yeah.
Isn't that fantastic?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
real Steranko to me. That
Yeah.
Oh, very. Very.
it's fabulous.
Man.
And the way that
dagger.
his dagger thing falls obviously quicker than he does, and it's just fabulous.
Oh,
That's amazing. And the panels get smaller as well, don't they? As he sort of zooms in, but he's not zooming in.
Right.
Yeah. You know, that's
kind of intensifying that falling feeling.
Yep.
yeah.
You know,
Because all you care about really is him, and that's what you get at the end.
and this is one of the is this another IDW art edition?
Yeah. Yeah. This is the IDW Artisan Edition. Because there's actually this much more
Good
Oh,
Lord.
are we in again next
wow.
week?
in the book.
We're again next
We
week.
can do
yeah.
at least one more episode on Simonson alone. There's a Dr. Fate story,
Oh,
Metal Men story.
We've got to see it, Randy. We've got to do it.
Yeah.
We've
Ooh,
got to
I
do
remember that Dr. Fate. That was great.
Well, I guess we'll
Oh,
cover
he
that
did
next
a
week.
Dr. Fate?
Yeah. First
Oh,
issue
yeah.
special with Martin Pasco.
Don't go to it. Leave it till next week.
And I think that was the one where they introduced like the Unks
There is
that
a Captain.
they used to use all the time.
That's right. That's right.
There is a
Oh,
Captain
that's-
Fierce.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
Jeez.
Yeah. It's a lot thicker line work on that. Pretty amazing. Anyway,
You were saying he didn't get a job until he did the Alien adaptation. Is that right?
he didn't what?
When did he first get published? Was it this?
It was this, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not this. It was the
Right.
detective. He did a short story for Atlas.
Yes,
and
that's right.
Brian
yeah,
says he did another story besides that
Yeah, for
Right.
Gold Key.
for Gold.
right. Got you. Yeah, got you.
Archie took him under his wing because Archie just inherited editorship of Detective.
Mhm.
So he needed
Right.
somebody to do a backup story. And here is this went behind the ears Simonson guy. Well, let's give him a chance.
And
Look at it.
Archie was renowned for his incredible ability of spotting talent, and he just he always was keeping an eye on who was doing what.
And he was
Yeah,
coming off of editing Warren magazines for years
Yeah,
and working
Yeah.
with all those people. Like those 2 issues of Eerie that we looked at earlier were edited, or that archive book of Eerie we had 2 episodes on. Were all edited by Archie.
Just
Yeah,
before
some
you
of it-
turn over,
most of it was written by Archie.
just
yeah.
before you turn over, just go back to that left-hand page. That bruising on his lip in the mid center panel.
Yeah.
That bruising there is fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's awesome. No, I think if there's anybody else in the industry you can point and put on a list of greats, it would be Archie Goodwin.
Oh, yeah.
Because he did just a tremendous amount of work to make comics better.
Yeah.
By his editorship, his writing, his talent, his knack for catching talent, and he really was a loss when he died. Big loss to the industry.
Thud.
Oh, nice. Oh man.
I know it's only a mask, but look at the smile on that guy's face there on that second panel after.
Oh, he's taking his mask off. Here.
Under
Yeah.
that one, that one.
Yeah.
Turn the page back and I'll show you another sequence too that I noticed with that mask. It's on the right-hand page. Or no, maybe it's the one before. Yeah, look at the right-hand page. Those two, it looks like almost happy, and then it looks maniacal.
Yeah.
Just below that,
Oh,
just with the tilt of the eyebrow area.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, good.
And it's subtle. It's so subtle.
It is.
Yeah.
I did pose for that one. Just in case you're
I thought it looked like you. Yeah.
Thud.
Man, oh man! But look at how he just uses that the streaking of the falling with the thud,
Yeah.
without actually showing it, and just like a small spattering of thin blood off to the right side of that panel.
Oh,
just,
Here comes Batman, and he's pissed.
Yeah.
And they're not.
Now, if they did a parody of this in Not Brand X, they'd have Gwen Stacy lying next to her down there, wouldn't they?
Probably.
Too soon.
How long have you been lying here?
What are you doing here?
So he takes off his mask. Christine's got a paper.
Yeah. So
he suddenly produces a pen.
Oh,
so was that a clone?
It was one of the clones, yeah.
And he aces off the last one, throws the paper at crumples it up, throws it at Batman's feet. And suddenly the helicopter shows up.
I wonder if they got the mask for the idea from this.
Wasn't the mask the mask was in the original in 74.
Right.
That
Japanese mask was in
75.
Yeah.
Well, the V mask is more of a theatrical mask anyway. It's more of the
I'm just saying about
comedy
the idea
tragedy mask. Yeah.
I think it's different thing. Yeah.
Helicopter shows up. They run off.
There they go.
Batman's gonna get him. Sees him running off.
I'll tell you something. Batman's a really secondary character in this story, isn't he?
Yeah,
it's just a cameo, really.
Yeah, it's fantastic. But he's always there.
Standing there as a police car comes rolling up. Commissioner Gordon comes out, yells at him.
Says, that way. No, that way.
He says, why didn't you go after them? Why didn't you go after them? He points off camera.
Sorry, Jim. I got it under control.
Nope, points off camera. It's at the city limits line.
Oh.
Is he laughing there, Batman?
Just about. The grimace.
He's smiling.
He's smiling.
I love this. He's like, there's no need for script.
Gordon is pissed. Yeah, no need for script.
He's explaining it to him, and you can see you can almost imagine your own script down at the bottom right, where he's chatting to Commissioner Gordon, and Gordon's like, "Oh, right, okay, fair enough, Bats." You know,
and you know where it sits in the continuity.
Yeah.
Wow,
brilliant stuff.
And again, with that face, if you haven't seen the TV show Blue Bloods, why they haven't cast Tom Selleck as Commissioner Gordon is waiting on me.
Ooh,
yeah.
What a good choice.
Please do it.
Every time I see him, I go, "Oh, that's Commissioner Gordon right there." He plays a police commissioner in New York on the show.
I think the trouble, maybe the reason for that is that I think Tom Selleck's about 6'5", and you'd have to have a Batman bigger than him.
Yeah,
that's true. Man.
I have to say I quite like Gary Oldman.
Yes.
I thought Gary Oldman did a perfect.
I thought he did a good job.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
And then they end the story the way that they began the story. They reprint the first page from the first episode here.
Look at that cape.
Batman and Commissioner Gordon walking off.
Oh,
yeah.
Kind of showing the completion of the circle. Yeah.
The only thing I have with Gary Oldman, who I think is a great actor, is that every time I see him, I just see Lee Oswald, because that was the first thing I saw him in JFK. So, so he's just something. What is Lee Oswald doing, Commissioner of Gotham City Police?
Yeah.
Wow.
The first time I recognised Gary Oldman as an actor would have been from Dracula.
Yeah.
Oh, and frankly, he's almost unrecognizable.
Yes.
He's a chameleon.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, it's great.
I remember a great sequence in that film where he moves away, but his shadow goes back to get the person, and then
brilliant.
stops and goes back again.
I love that film. I thought it was great. I really did.
And he was terrific in Lost in Space. I'm sorry, I like that film.
Yeah, that's all right. I thought it was
sure, it was a fun round.
Yeah.
Did he play that Zachary guy?
He played Zachary Smith,
Yeah.
Yes.
I've
Back
seen
to what we were talking about earlier about having really just fun films.
Yeah.
You know,
And frankly, Mel Brooks did a great send up with Dracula Dead and Loving It. It was
yes.
It's, I think him in Gary Oldman in The Fifth Element as well was really cool.
Table of Contents 2.
Wow, another change in style.
Yes. Yep, and we should probably look at that next time.
Is somebody else inking that?
That is from Detective Comics 450, only 7 issues later after the main the detective story that we saw.
Is somebody else inking that?
It just says Walt Simonson drawing.
It's really quite different.
Elliot Maggin writings, Walt Simonson inking, and he carries that on over into another Captain Fear story that we were looking at.
Almost a little Alcala.
You'd never.
It's a lot. Yeah, it's very much thicker. We'll take a good look at that next week.
But I love that logo at the top.
Yeah.
Oh, isn't that gorgeous?
They did a lot of that back during that era, and it's sorely missed. I think.
Oh yeah.
Well, we talked about Archie Goodwin, that year of detective he did, because it was bi-monthly at the time. He was working with people like Alex Toth. And some really classic artists that didn't get a chance to do Batman.
Right.
Toth did a couple of episodes in Batman Black and White after that, but before that, no.
Nicely designed.
Oh yeah, Alex Toth's his contribution to that Batman Black and White with that cover.
Yeah.
Just
iconic. And a lot of stuff he did was like that though. So we'll cover him in another episode of Comics by Night. I got a lot of Toth.
It's that image, that X Factor image that I downloaded.
We'll pull that up.
So just see how he moved on.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
nice.
Nice.
Incredible.
That's gorgeous.
Just all the movement and the light touch as well. I mean, look at this stuff around Iceman and the shading on the beast's legs.
And the solid blacks under the cars as well.
You can see just where he's come from and the light touch he's giving this, but and yet all the movement and the depth. Fantastic stuff.
He's another artist that after the decades he's been in it, he's not lost a touch. Not one. No. Not lost one.
This would have been in the 90s. If like I was saying earlier, if anybody's got his Ragnarok books, he's gone looser.
Yeah, I've got the first one.
Yeah, and it's super. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Lovely stuff.
And it doesn't look busy. Or over-rendered.
It's amazing how he can get away with that, considering the way that he does render. There's not a lot of solid blacks.
And it doesn't look like there's a wasted line in there.
No,
very energetic without ever being chaotic. That's amazing feat to
economy of line.
Yeah. Economy of line every time. You go look at something and it's easy as a novice artist to go, oh, look at all those lines, look at all that rendering. Yeah, let's go. And it's like, no, that's not the way it works. It's like every line is there for a reason. You see that there.
So now are we almost up to time now? Are we?
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
I got 1:45. Can we fix another story, Uncle Randy? Please.
You got
15 minutes of chaos.
We might get to see 2 pages in 15 minutes, Scott.
Oh yeah, seriously, that Batman story is great. The Captain Fear story is great, but that Dr. Fate story is incredible.
Well, now see, you're looking at it without letting us see it, aren't you?
I saw it when I was a kid.
Just torture us, why don't you?
This is like Netflix. We're stringing it out for another show.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
If I have to keep looking at these guys instead of that comic book, I'm going to get.
Well, look at you for a second. Scott, tell folks how they can find you.
You can find Scott on the
You can
Death
find me
Star.
destroying the Lines. I'll be at Facebook at Scott Rosenbaum with my ever-present errantry, which is so much better than Will Simonson's work. I just love it. And you can find me over in Grand Rapids tomorrow at the Comic Signal. We're celebrating their, I think, 5th year anniversary of being open as a comic shop. Great comic store. And then next weekend, I'm going to be down in Elkhart, Indiana for the 2-day Hall of Heroes Comic-Con. And it's going to be awesome. We're going to have all my prints and my errantries going to be with me. It's going to be awesome. But in the meantime, you can always find me on Facebook. I'm there lurking about somewhere. So check it out.
All right. Brian, tell folks how they can find you.
Right here at risingtide.pub. It has a connection to all my broadcasting, all my publishing, and I'll be publishing this great book soon with all my work in it. And but anyway,
What?
Fantastic book.
Someone get some CPR for Scott. My next appearance in person will be April 1st at SI Comic Con in Benton, Illinois, at the community center down there. We will have all of our newest publications and probably even more that I don't know about yet, because I've got stuff coming out all the time. This is the year where I move from Who's He to Oh God, Not Him again. So anyway, check out risingtide.pub. Also, I do a Thursday night comic book show called Comic Book Spectrum with 4 other great guys, and we review comics and talk about the issues of the day in comics. So please join us.
Scott's breathing heavy,
Morris,
by the way.
He's awesome. Brian Morris is awesome. Oh,
I know. I take my pulse every day, and I'm real. You know.
I can feel the awesome.
Russ, tell folks how they can find you.
Yeah, you can currently find me in the pages of Batman Hero Time presents Batman in Europe and the UK. You can find me in the pages of Only Death Can Save Us from New Haven. You can pick that up globally online, wherever, Books A Million, Amazon, whatever. You can also pick my second book of Only Death Can Save Us up in Indiegogo. Currently, there's still a campaign running, and that's right at the end. So that won't be around for very long. And if you want to pick up the original version, Indiegogo version, the crowdfunded version of book 1, you can get it there as well. That will be book 2 will be going out to New Haven at the end of the year for worldwide publishing. Other than that, you can go to my Instagram account, or you can sign up on my email list to find out what's going on, because I do have more projects in the pipeline, especially with Randy and potentially with Arrow. And you can find all those links over on russleach.com. Everything's there for you there.
Cool. Glenn, you're up. Tell folks how they can find you.
Yeah, usual places: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and all those kind of things. You can find my books and magazines on Amazon, and you can get this wonderfully edited book direct from me, which speaks of my 2 trips to see Jack Kirby's house. You can see me actually talking to him on this DVD. If you go to Indiegogo and put in Hatch What's Up, you'll be able to sign up for the pre-launch of this magazine, this comic book that's coming out shortly. And you can see my work and others in Comics Unlimited, a quarterly magazine about comics, 100-pager. And that's about it, really. And you can find me on these podcasts every Friday morning and Sunday and various other times.
Oh, look at Brian Morris. He's promoting you too, Glenn.
Yeah.
Got a couple issues of that just recently.
Yeah. He's appearing in those issues, so there's method in his madness.
Yeah, some silly guy.
The pre-psychic showing of his fez, it's amazing.
Folks, I've been your host, Randy Zimmerman. You can find me on Sunday morning here at Sunday Funnies at 9 a.m., where we will be looking at more great stuff and talking about the stuff that really inspires us and puts a sparkle in our eye and a fire in our belly to do this wonderful work that we do. You can actually, if you want to see me, you can see me later today. down at the Macomb Community College, of all places, where the Great Lakes Comic Con is going on Friday night and all day Saturday. I'll be set up there as Arrow Comics, and we'll have books for sale like Herobot Zero will be available. That's a 3-foot-tall giant robot fighting monsters. Oh, look, there's a Scott Roseman cover on number 2.
Ooh. I'm breathless.
Calico of Shards, high fantasy book I'm very proud of, with artwork by C. Michael Lanning. Paragon will also be available there. It's a superhero title I'm especially proud of. We'll have issues of Revolt that has a Glenn Hatch story in it, and copies of Only Death Can Save Us as well. A little preview of that book if you want to swing by the table, say hello. That's the Great Lakes Comic Con. It's on today from 5 until 9 of all times, and then tomorrow from 10 until 6. So I will be down there at the Macomb Civic or the Macomb Community College Civic Center display room. Whatever.
Is that the Great Lakes Comic Con?
Yeah, did I say Great Lakes?
Is it? I'm not sure. You said Macomb. I don't know if that's where.
That's at Macomb College. Yeah, it's the Great Lakes Comic Con.
Okay,
that's what it is. Yeah. It's always a great show. I might even be moderating some panels. I don't know. So
I know
when I
you
get
will.
down there.
I know you will. I trust you.
I know. I'll know when I get down there. So. But looking forward to that. Got everything already packed and just, waiting to go. So other than that, Sundays, 9 a.m. We'll be back here again. At Friday, apparently we'll do Simonson again. So just to keep it all together.
And
I'm hoping.
And if anybody wants a little bit of touch of our madness on the side, you can always click into the Sunday Funnies little message box, because you never know. You never know what's going to go on in that crazy little.
Well, that too. But you can always find us archived over at the Indie Comics Network. There's a lot of other great programming over there as well. They also have an adult-oriented channel for more less child-oriented artwork, or non-child-oriented artwork over there at the Indie Comics Network After Dark. That's what they call it. So you can go over there and take a look.
It's like those pictures of the kids reading comics.
Like, yeah, really.
Wow.
This is for you, Sarah.
Ooh, there we go.
Why? Oh, why have we stooped so low?
I've got one of my regular
Can't
viewers.
nobody tell me nothing.
Do you draw the Flintstones naked? What the fuck is the matter with people in this business?
I tell you what's wrong with them. They're licking comics.
I've got one of my friends has a sort of a fetish. He wants me to lick all of my work and all the good stuff.
Stop.
There's that.
On our way out the door, we're reminded of the classic words by Mr. Groucho Marx. Be open-minded, but not so open-minded that your brains fall off.
Now you know what happened to me.
Oh, that is advice way too late.
That is. Folks, we'll see you next time. Love you all. Thanks for being a part of the show. Thanks for watching us. Make sure you go to arrowcomics.store if you want some Arrow Comics books. That roster is ever growing. It's gonna get crazy, folks, by the end of the year. So looking forward to that. Yes, exactly. Release your hatred.
Mine's been in the freezer. I can't get my tongue
No.
Only ice can save us. Only ice can save us.
Only ice can
What have I started?
Sarah, it's all Sarah's fault. Sarah's fault. Yeah. All right, folks, take care.
See ya.
I want my piece of cake. I want a piece of cake.
No doubt.
We'll see you soon. Let me find it here. Oh, too low. There we are.
We're stuck.
Way too low. Yes. We'll see you, folks.
in a loop.
All right, everybody, repeat after me.
What was that? This is not a charade. We need total concentration. Now, once again, this time, with the...
Have a question or comment for us to address on the show? Have a topic you want us to talk about? Email us at
Awkward
indiecomicsnetwork@gmail.com. Want your comics to arrive in pristine condition?
You're
Head
muted,
over
Randy.
to GeminiComicsSupply.com and save 10%
Randy.
on your next Gemini
Can you see that on
mailer
the screen?
order
Because
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
or
watching it.
anything in the Gemini
No,
Comics
it's live.
Supply
We're
No.
store.
live.
Use
We're
the
still
promo
live.
code
We're
RAGIN10.
still here. It's stuck in a time
Bastards,
loop.
I was playing the video. That's why I was muted. How
Yeah,
about
and
it?
then you unmuted us all.
Yeah, we can
I didn't
still hear
unmute
each other.
you. That wasn't me. That was
It wasn't
Somebody
me.
unmuted me.
That
silly
was
StreamYard.
StreamYard. That was AI.
Let's
Who's
try
in
this
con-
again and
Who's
see
in
if it works.
control?
We're all losing
Good
control.
question.
me.
I knew nobody can shut Glenn up. Nobody.
Big brother, he wants to see more licking, I guess. Anyway.
Have a question or comment for us to address on the show? Have a topic you want us to talk about? Email us at indiecomicsnetwork@gmail.com. Want your comics to arrive in pristine condition? Head over to GeminiComicsSupply.com and save 10% on your next Gemini mailer order or anything in the Gemini Comics Supply store. Use coupon. The views and opinions expressed within the video content found on
and
the
licking.
Indie Comics Network are those
And
of the
licking.
speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Indie Comics Network or its sponsors.
Just figured I'd be safe and run that one more time.
These aren't the messages you're looking for.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes. Exactly, my young.
Bye, everybody.
Biocratics.
We'll
Spend
see
all
you.
your money.
Take
See
care,
ya.
everyone.
All see.
Now on Sunday mornings, longtime independent comics creator Randy Zimmerman brings to you a podcast that talks about the lighter and more whimsical side of comics, the fun side of comics. That's right. Sunday Funnies is back Sunday morning, 9 a.m. on the Indie Comics Network on YouTube. Check it out. Special guest.
How can he close me up? On what ground?
I'm shocked to find that gambling is going on in here.
You're winning, sir.
Oh, thank you very much. Everybody out at once.
Everybody out at once.
And if that's
We're
what's like to
done.
go to Brian Morris's house.
Oh, wait, we're not done yet. Here, now.